Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the T49. It's a Tier 9 American light tank. It's located on the south spawn of Siegfried Line, and it's under the command of Jamie2006 of the S3AL clan. And it's part one of a two-part video featuring this tank. Game on! Well, there are two guns you can actually have with the T49. The first one is a 90mm, which actually has like 46 rounds. Whoa! Ha! Bucking Bronco. And the other one is the one you've got here. It's the 152mm gun, which actually has only 22 rounds of ammunition. As you can see here, this divided between high explosive rounds and, of course, heat rounds. Lovely shot, first one, 316 hit points. It didn't penetrate because it hit the hard armor of the BZ58-2, but it certainly did a nice bit of damage to the guy. Now, it is particularly light on armor, this thing. The best armor you've got is at the front of the turret, and that's only 38.1mm. The rest of it is less than that. And he does it again. Now, this is a long reload because it's a big shell. The standard reload by the book, 22.05 seconds, and Jamie's got 20.53. I reckon that guy's still waiting for us. He's locked on, but that might not be a good idea. That BZ58 is more than likely going to try and shoot. He failed. He just shot and failed. So we're now dialing in on him, and he knows that when he pulls back, we're more than likely going to take a swing at him. Here he goes. Well, we didn't connect with that one. Top speed of this light tank is 65 kilometers an hour, so it's quite fast for a Tier 9. But it does have that big ability to derp the enemy. In fact, it's an assassin tank in many ways, because it drives up on you and just blasts you out of existence with one clean shot. Now he's having a quick inspection. Oh, somebody shot there. Just he went past the gap. And he did get spotted, and I think it might be a Selma. Okay, oh, that's the Heshbarn. And he's got a shot! You see, he can shoot over the bank. The Heshbarn failed on him, but he got the Heshbarn in return. And that's 1,068 hit points. Thank you very much. We'll take that. So he got a penetrating shot on the turret of the Heshbarn. Now, it was actually designed from the hull of an M41 light tank. In 1954 they started the trials, not the way to drive it. It's not particularly heavy, this tank, by the way. That's why he was leaping all over the place. It only weighs 26 tons in total. They started work on 5th of May 1954. It never saw mass production because of course they had a lot of issues. But I believe some members of What Arty Noobs have either driven this one, or they drove the Sheridan, which of course derived from it. Well, it's got two targets over there, an E.M, and there was an AMX 5120 as well, and he missed both of them. Didn't get them in. So let's wait for the reload to go through. Oh, that Selma we saw earlier just went down. Taken out by the E3, so our E3 is actually doing a lot of business. Now he blind fired that one by holding down his right hand mouse key and then shooting exactly the same spot where he saw those tanks before. There's a good chance that they were on that corner, but of course he doesn't have any knowledge of anything being hit. We're 2 down on the enemy, and well, it seems to be that the enemy are doing rather well, just for the moment. I get the feeling that E.M was actually watching T110E3 on our team, who's sitting there in the middle. We can see him. Jamie doing a good job with the all-round vision to actually see what's going on. He pulls back a long way to get a strategic view. It gives him good situational awareness. Oh, and the Heshbarn goes down the gap on the east side of the map and gets spotted and wiped out. So that's useful as well, because that brings it... Well, the gap's still 2 tanks, but at least one of the enemy big tanks is gone. Now, Changing around, there's an A phase 1 and that BC58-2 that we were firing at earlier. And they're coming down to that corner. So it might be a good idea to see what we can do. There he is. Well, that's a nice hit for 223. He didn't get... Oh, he did get spotted. He may have been spotted when he moved forward. And might not be a good idea to back up like this until you've waited the required few seconds. Ow! Yep, we were spotted and he's actually blind fired us. Now the BZ58 only had 12 hit points left and he's gone. The A phase 1's only 625 and he's now lost another 300 of that. So he's now one shot to the IS-7. They auto-aimed on. Something you need to be very careful with. Auto-aim is okay under certain circumstances to keep the target lit and held by the gun, especially when you're moving fast, but can also be a bit of a pain when you're trying to aim for a tank and unfortunately it changes the aim point to the center of the tank rather than the bit of the tank that you want to hit. There's another tank on that corner. I wonder if it's that E50 M that we saw earlier in the game. Jamie having another quick look round. There's E50. And he's popping up in the center area. Okay, he might get a chance here. If that guy goes through the gap to try and get at the E3, we might get a shot at him because I don't think he realizes. He must know he's been spotted because his sixth sense will have gone off. But I don't think he realizes how much danger he's in. There's the AMX-5120 and he's only 12 hit points. I wonder if Jamie did actually hit him while he was over in that corner. It's a possibility. We'll have to look at that in the end of battle stats. Just if the AMX-50 has more damage than we expected. Go for it. Okay, he's reselected the HE and he gets a hit for 180. And he didn't get spotted. That's useful. The good news is we're now equal on numbers. We've got no threat from the west at the moment. The enemy has a Leopard 1 and a Skoda T50 out in the field. There's that AMX Bumsieg again. Can we get a shot? He's in the open. Goes for it. Oh, 747. Now, as you saw, the figures show 700 alpha for the high explosive anti-tank with 152mm pen. The HE, you get less pen, 85mm, but you get a much higher alpha, 910, if you get the pen, and that's what he did with the Heshman, and that's why he got over 1,000. It was a high roll. And they've lost their Panzerkampfwagen 7. There's that AMX-5120 again. He's only got 12 hit points, that guy. Ouch, we just lost our standard B to their Viz-55. But Viz-55's a one-shot as well, and he's only got 17 hit points. There's a lot of tanks with very low hit points around this area. Yeah, this position's very good for monitoring the field, and good job he did move up because we've just suddenly spotted the Skoda out the field. We're reloading, and he fires the heat and gets 732, which is a high roll. Our M53, M55 is still under threat because those guys out in the field, and there's the enemy Leopard. There's the Skoda. Leopard's going around the outside. Okay, so he's going low. We can probably get a spot on him. He's poking out through the tree, which provides decent cover. And this tank does have the gun depression to actually make a difference. It's 10 degrees of gun depression. Thank you very much. That's the Leopard out the game. So he's now got a kill after all that time, because of course remember, he's been hitting tanks and getting huge amounts of hit points. Over 4,000 so far, but only 1 kill so far, which is surprising. Okay, he's decided he's going to go for it. The Leopard's not threatening him anymore. He can just drive up on the Skoda and give him what for. Now, question, which side does he go, the left or the right? I'd be tempted to go the right, because then you've got the tree covering you right up until the moment where you derp him. Hello! And he's gone. Nice. Very well done. And the Batchat 25 TAP's running. I forgot to mention right from the start, this was a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it. And so he's actually doing incredibly well, because he is taking on tier 10 opponents. 2 marks of excellence on the barrel. A lot of practice. Jamie sent this one in a few months ago, actually. Or was it a month or 2 ago? He's not the only one. Other people have been sending me in replays, and I sometimes put them together with other players so that you can get to see them. They've lost their Arty. The M53, M55 just died, and now they're just down to that Batchat 25 TAP, which of course is a fast light tank, or fast medium actually, not a fast light. Ow! We just lost our E3 to that Batchat. There he is. In fact, our Conqueror's under threat, because although he got one 120mm round into the Batchat, can we get him? Yes! That's a kill. Does a sliding turn next to the wreck of the M53. Nice victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and Jamie2006 of S3AL managed to get an ace tanker in his T49. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, and in that battle he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. And his win 8 was 14,183, which is super unicum and a lot more, which means that yes, he was doing significant damage to the enemy. There's the AMX 5120. He blind shotted that guy and he did get a hit for 245 hit points. So yes, he did get that guy, or at least connect with him at least once, at least during the battle. Anyway, let's have a look at the team score and see what he did. 5,451 hit points of damage went to Jamie. Second highest went to the Concept 1B on his team, who managed 4,016 hit points of damage. That guy got a cool headed. And the third highest damage, well, that goes to the AE Phase 1 on the enemy team, who managed 3,630 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, we can see the high scorer was, in fact, the AMX 5120. He got 4 kills in the game. 3 kills went to Jamie, and also to the T110E3. And 2 kills went to the Concept 1B, of course, who got that cool headed, the IS-7 and the Conqueror on our team. And on the enemy team, their Leopard 1 and their Batchat 25 TAP got 2 kills. The M53 on our team got the Confederate, and so did the M53 on the enemy team as well. And their E-Fumsieg M also got a Confederate at that one as on top. When it came to base XP, he's got that one. So he's got the top in 2 of the columns, came second in the third. 1,231 went to Jamie. 1,225 went to the Concept 1B, and the next highest after that was the IS-7, who was just under 1,000 base with 924. He fired only 14 rounds. Remember, this thing only carries 22 rounds in total. 12 direct hits on the enemy, 6 penetrating shots and 6 splash. He carefully used the mixture of heat rounds and HE rounds to maximize his damage, including using that HE round on the Heshbon to maximum effect. 6 splashes as well, 5,451 hit points, of which 2,045 were at more than 300 meters, so there was some close range derping. 1 hit received from the enemy, it was a penetrating shot, and 1 enemy vehicle spotted. Of course, the one that hit him was the AE Phase 1, who managed to blind fire him. I'm pretty sure it was a blind fire, actually. He did back up when he was still spotted, or at least the clock timer was still going, and I suspect that the AE Phase 1 fired back down the line and picked that spot, and of course he was behind the bush. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, so he missed out on getting a Confederate. I'm not sure how by how much? We'll just check that to see. What did the M53 get? He got 7 and 1. That's a 6 difference. And that means, yes, definitely, if he'd actually killed one less tank, he would have ended up with a Confederate as well. Or if he'd hit one more member of the enemy team, other than the ones he did hit, if he'd been 9 and 3, he would have ended up with a Confederate as well. 1,026 hit points of damage assistance in the game. That's the spotting assist, over 1,000. Now, he did make a loss, 5,480 credits, and that's mainly down to ammunition and, of course, consumables. 50,650 ammunition alone. That's quite expensive. But then this ammunition is expensive ammo. It's high caliber ammo. 1,846 on the XP as well. So a pretty good game, actually. He said dirt forever. He just loves the ability this thing has. A long range. It's a long range sniper with a heavy caliber shell. But at short range, it really is a heavy derper in terms of the fact that you just drive up and blast somebody out of existence completely with just one shot. Hope you enjoyed that bit, because we've got another one coming from you. Yes, we've got 2 T49 replays. So let's have a look at replay number 2. The second replay is on the south spawn of Prokhorovka, and this time it's demontaxidriver of D2S in command.
Time to roll out.
And we've got no sound. So we have to restart it again. I'm afraid, yes, it's the same for me as it is for Klaus. He has to do the same. And there we go.
Time to roll out.
That's better. Yes, Klaus Kellerman and I have both been having the same problem. I think it's the same for all of the content creators. Of course, it happens more often for me because I do more videos than Klaus does. Sometimes as many as 5 a day. But anyway, this is the M49, or T49 I should say, with the 90mm gun, which means you've got more ammo to play with, 46 rounds as opposed to the 22 you get with a dirt machine. Of course, that means it's got a different alpha and different penetration. This one is capable of 212mm of pen, and it's also 240 alpha, if I remember correctly. Just check that. Look at it. Yep, 240 alpha, 212 with standard APCR. With the heat rounds, it's capable of 250mm of pen. So he's gone to the bushes straight away. It's in a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it, and he's spotted a convoy straight away. And his teammates are doing the job for him. He's picking up the spotting. Convoy down.
Much
Good
obliged.
job. And he's thanking them for it as well.
Yes, sir.
And they like it. Well, his job is merely to, well, not merely, but mostly to find out where the enemy is and let his teammates do the damage. He's just spotted an RU-251 directly ahead of him, and his teammates will kill that quick, because that's the only guy who might actually be able to spot and kill demontaxidriver. And he thanks them again, because of course they're protecting him just as he's spotting for them. Large number of tanks coming up to the center line now, including a Striv, who's just driven up into the bowl. Very, very bold of him to do that. Brave, I'd say, even. Because, of course, once you're in the bowl, you are vulnerable. And there are Arty on the enemy team. The Arty are a Batchat 155-55 and an M53 M55. And although they just fired at R268, the Striv is now spotting. So if we do go past the center line, we need to make sure that he's not spotted by those guys. He needs to get past without being seen. We drive up as far as this wreck of the RU-251. Okay, he's got nice spotting on these guys now as well. They're being hit by the Arty, which means he's probably going to pick up some spotting assists off that. In fact, it looks like he has already. 54 and 268 so far off the E50. Off the, not the E50, the E100.
Support my position.
Okay, he's asking the 277 to support him. 277 and the others are, well, they're out in the middle of the field at the moment, but he's actually going to push forward. He needs their help. Oh, slides out there. For a brief moment, his side was exposed. But he is moving forward. And you can't ask of someone anything more than they're actually trying to do what he wants. He's got the communications expert working, and he's also got the, I think that coordination. So one of the skills is operating. Yes, that's the communications expert, which gives him 2.5% extra on crew skills. Yes, there's the other one. In fact, it's the coordination one. Aiming increased. The badger's starting to be hit. His spotting's now gone up to 5.3, 5.7, 6.6. It's closer to 6.7 actually. There's 6.9, closer to 7. This is really good work by the demontaxidriver. The guys behind him must be loving this, because they are very close behind him actually as well. They've got up to the center line now. And these guys know that he's doing his best for them. You can't ask more than this. Not without getting wiped out in the process. Now, get past this gap. You can see both Arty focusing on our guys at the centre line. The Bosch was one of them, the Object 277 was the other. He's managed to get past that gap. And past the trip. Oh, he's found an AMX 5120. And look at him, he's being struck straight away. Hits are going in. He's now up to 8,200, 8,500. That's going to be a massive score for him at the end of the game. The batch out 155.55's decided to get out quick, but too late. Gets taken down by the Object 277. Okay, this is, oh, and he's found the Gorilla 15 as well. He's out. 10,792 spotting. In fact, now he can go full speed because the Object 268 is actually ahead of him. This is superb work. You couldn't ask for more. Just under 11,000 spotting. They've killed all the tanks that were over by the railway line as well. And now they're chasing the enemy up the hill. There's only 5 enemies remaining. One of the Arty is over this side of the map. And he's probably down. There he is. He's in the water. Okay, so we've auto-aimed on with the 90mm gun. One round in. He has to go for another. And the second round kills him. The standard reload by the book is... trying to remember it now. 5.75. He's got 5.61. But he's got a chance to get some more damage. Oh, not anymore. They wiped them out. That was a good game. Well, I'm really pleased that demontaxidriver used the 90mm in this one, did it purely by spotting, because it actually shows the difference between the derp gun and the 90mm. You've got a first-class tanker. In fact, that's the first time that demontaxidriver has had a first-class tanker in the T49, and he earned it by spotting the, well, spotting the spotting the rear off. Let's put it that way. I was about to say 2 rude words. I'm not going to say them, but he spotted the enemy to death, and they died. He got a spotter badge for getting at least 1,000 hit points of damage spotted. He also got a patrol duty of being the only one spotting 6 enemy tanks whilst they were being damaged. His win rate wasn't high, it was only 626, but because he wasn't doing actual damage, in fact, the only tank that he actually damaged was the enemy Arty, the M53, M55, and demontaxidriver is an Arty player, so he knows full well that how important it is to take out the enemy Arty. So there's no animosity when he takes down the enemy. He's only doing it because that's his job, to remove the enemy from the battlefield. So let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Well, of course, he didn't do much in the way of damage. He actually only got 450 hit points. But he wasn't the lowest on the team because, of course, the Patton and the Super Conqueror didn't get any damage whatsoever. The top scorer in that game went to the Object 277, who managed 4,907 hit points of damage, and that guy got the top gun and the tank sniper Obviously, he didn't get 20% in the enemy hit pool, and that's why he didn't get the high caliber. Second highest damage went to the Object 2684. 3,041 hit points went to him. And the third highest damage was the Super Conqueror on his team, who managed to get a Confederate and 2,853 hit points of damage. The Object 752, he picked up a Spartan for 1,818 hit points. And of course, we've got demontaxidriver right down here with the patrol duty. When it came to kills, top scorer again was the Object 277, 6 kills to him, 2 kills to the Leopard prototype and the Striv 103B. And we can see that demontaxidriver only got 1 kill, but it was the enemy Arty. But when it came to base XP, he's right at the top because he spotted like a champion. 1,184 base experience points from that game. 1,011 went to the Object 277. So the guy with the highest damage got less base XP than the guy who did all the spotting for the team in that one. And obviously he deserved that because he gave them those easy kills by spotting where the enemy was. So let's have a look at detail. He only fired 2 shots. Both shots hit the target, both direct hits, both penetrated. 450 hit points of damage, 7 enemy vehicles spotted, 1 enemy vehicle damaged and destroyed, the M53, M55, 10,816 hit points of spotting assist, which of course his team are internally grateful for. And on a premium count, he earned 106,556 credits profit from the game. No mission completion bonuses, nothing like that. Pure profit because he did so well. And 10,656 experience points out of that one, including a mission completion of 7,104 because, of course, he allowed his team to win that game. Very, very well played. 2 different play styles. One person who does it by stealthily picking up information on the enemy and allowing his teammates to do the damage. And one who actually does do real damage. Of course, that was Jamie, who actually derped the enemy out of existence at long range with, of course, that lovely 152mm caliber gun. Hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.